Good day everyone, welcome back to Pete's Investing. Today is March 25, 2023. This is the Bitcoin update. So let's look overall. You can see here on a daily, 4-hourly and the hourly charts, which we track. The CCI moving average is all broken up to the upside, so all bullish signals at the moment. So only taking long trades primarily. Now let's zoom in on each of these. So on the daily, you'll notice I've got a key support area here and a key resistance at 28,900, and on a resistance and a support is 19,574. So just be mindful, we may see a bit of a retrace to the downside because of that resistance as we go. So before I leave the daily chart, I just want to emphasize for those new to the channel, our primary indicator, as I said, is a CCI 1500 and with a moving average of 400. And generally, we don't take trades against that moving average. So as opposed to the price moving average of the moving average 200 on the price chart, that would have indicated potentially you would have taken long trades during those periods. Whereas we're saying don't take long trades at all once it breaks to the downside, such as it did in this case. That gives you generally a better indicator in terms of getting out of the particular trades, or stop trading long in this case and taking only short trades during that period. It doesn't mean you go short in that period only. You take the trades on the direction of the larger time frame. So what that means is during this period, take only short trades on the lower time frames, such as the 4-hour and the hourly, or even the 15-minute time frames. So what does that look like on the 4-hour chart? Well, let's drill in now. So I showed you that, zooming out, I showed you that on a daily. So again, going short only, so you would have gone short, for example, during those periods where the CCI is breaking to the downside, and avoid going long during that period. Also notice, similar to what I just mentioned about going short only, going long in those periods there, based on the daily, because the daily was telling you to go short only, there was minimal gain going long during that period. So again, going short would have been giving you generally a better return than going long against the larger time frame. Now, zooming in here, as we said, during that support resistance line, I've drawn a Fibonacci retracement between that low and that high. And you'll notice the price has come back down to the 23% level. And we've got to be careful of a retracement. If it breaks below that 23%, we may see it come down to as far as the 50, somewhere in between the 50 to 61%, potentially with a potential bounce. Now, if it breaks below the 61%, then we're looking at further declines from there. So we're still a way off there, but this is the 4-hour chart, so we're just going to see how it goes in the coming hours and days. So at the moment, it's come and retraced as far as the 23%, and let's see how it's going on the hourly chart. So if we zoom into the hourly chart, that's that range we just saw between that support and resistance area. And I've drawn also a Fibonacci extension. So if it does break that resistance, we're looking at a possible break above that resistance, and potentially gaining as much as the 123% extension, which is around a 32 level. So let's just see how it goes from there. Now, in terms of where it may retrace to the downside, and I've picked a lower time frame here between that low and that high. So let's just draw Fibonacci in terms of retracing to the downside. So you can see there it's broken through in that range there. Let me just pull it out a bit like that. You can see it's broken down through the 38% and threatening the 50%. So if it comes down and breaks through that 50% or even the 61% and below that, we're going to see it break to the downside, and that will also show a decline on the hourly CCI. So that will most likely break on a downside as well. So that's just something to be mindful of. So I'd be holding off going long at this point, even though all the indicators showing long positioning. I'd wait for the confirmation for it to break this resistance before taking further long actions, and then take the extensions. Otherwise, if we see it break to the downside, you may want to start preparing for potential shorting positions, especially if the 4-hour chart starts retracing closer to the 50% level, as I said, on that level there. So at the moment, hold off going long or short until we get more confirmation of long positions and positioning above that resistance, and potentially going short if it breaks to the downside, especially on the 4-hour chart below that 50% level. To understand how to properly trade using the average down approach, reference the links in the description below. Subscribe and like the channel. If you really want to support the channel, support us on Patreon, and we'll see you in the next video.